Well, good evening to you. Let's do a quick roll call. Hello, Barry, Lynn, Paul, Richard, Stefan, Steve, ho, and Stuart's in the room already. So welcome, guys, and happy holidays. We're in December, not long now to Christmas. Should I mention that? I don't know. Father Christmas himself will probably join us in the room in a bit. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope you're all good. I'd already spotlighted. Maybe it's my view. I have to change on my. There we go. That's better. How are you, Robert? You okay?
I'm wore out.
He's worn
Just
out.
Wore out.
It's all those toys you've been making for the girls and boys, isn't it? That's what it is.
Yeah, I wish that's what it was. You know, we had done so much stuff over the last month and trying to make the new plugin work flawlessly, which we have. And now it's time to start putting it to use. And people have, and I get it, you know, it's new. They haven't seen it. They don't know what it's supposed to do. They don't know what's changing, you know, for everybody. And if I can say something simple, if you're very familiar with MPP and you want to build in MPP, you stay with MPP. We're not taking that away from you. You can totally build all of this with MPP. All that we have done is created a way to make more options. You can do a whole lot more now with the classic editor being your shortcode builder in the plugin. And it works flawlessly with MPP. It works flawlessly with Page Generator Pro. And that's the whole purpose of this. So let's not overthink what we're doing as we learn. We're going to stay the same as we always have in Done For You Magic Teams. We're not going to throw everything at you the same day so that you can go, oh my God, I'll never get this. We have to give it to you in step-by-step process, step-by-step building, so you understand it slowly. The focus of the website, the agency website, is to build it. The focus is not to understand every moving part that's in it. These all take time. But when you get it, the simplicity in the long run of being able to build quickly and then rinse and repeat the other themes. The agency website, you don't need 1,000 of them. In reality, it's your business website. Can you make more than one? Absolutely. You can put them all over the place. But be forewarned, you have to unwrap things slowly and understand and digest. And for those that are getting confused, just take a breath, follow the simple steps. We're going to make things even easier as we go forward. But we just want to say that up front and clearly that some people are more advanced than others. Some people can get this a lot quicker than others, but that's okay. You have to do it at the speed that you're at. Anything you want to add to that, Stephen?
No, the thing is for those that know us, we've been on many boot camps, we've seen many webinars, and it's so easy to get so in depth into what you're doing that then you don't make any money. And which is why we've taken a step back and said build and rent. So the agency website is just getting up online on a domain name, build out some social media channels and point them to your site and your site to them, get citations done in local directories. And then after you've done that, then submit it to Google. Now, the bit we haven't done this time round is the setup of Rank Math or SEO Press or Yoast, because there's 3 different platforms there. Now, if you're planning on using Magic Page plugin, use their SEO, because those other 3 plugins will not work with Magic Page plugin. The only one that will is Exargio. If you've got Exargio, you can use that with either plugins on our site. It works either way. All right. And the thing is, it's about getting your site up. So pick one of those SEO plugins, get it up, and nip through the pages and make sure that the SEO in the boxes that show up on Google are labeled in a way that it's local to you. So, for example, you could be a local website designer. You're searching for those keywords, or local business website keywords. We can't tell what keywords are for you in your local area. We're not where you are. One terminology in the UK means something else in the USA. That's why we've added that other plugin in there, so you can very quickly change $ to pounds and wording very quickly to become the UK version, which I know was a bugbear for quite a while with the themes. But when we build out the themes, you got to remember that there are so many different countries out there that we can't build variations for each of them. We go for the mass market, and then we find a way of making it easy to convert it, which is what we've done with version 3 for people. And there are only so many hours in the day that myself, Robert, and Greg have, and we do the support for you guys, and we aim to make sure that everything's running smoothly. Give you some idea, we did the Black Friday deal the day before. Just so you guys know, the server went down for the hosting. We've moved over to a different platform because I'm just so disappointed. I got promised by somebody, I won't mention his name again, but he highly recommended them, and they've been anything but good. So we've gone back to the original platform, knowing that that's been solid for years, and some of you are already on it, and some of you are moving on to it. That means I've been gradually recording new lots of training. Number one thing I'll say to everyone who's watching this in the replay, if you've got the agency website, please watch the training. It stops mistakes from happening. There's been a few things that have happened this week that an example, I'm not going to call people out because it's easily enough to be done. The Magic Location Builder is a white label version of Page Generator Pro. And if you put the Magic Code Builder license key inside the MLB one, right, it removes the official license key. We can't give that to you because our version of PGP is built into the theme, ready for you. If you don't have the menus coming up when you hover over it, you raise a support ticket. We add you to the back office, and in turn, then the menus will appear for that. We were umming and ahhing about whether to give people access to it now or later. We are recording training to how to use that. But in the meantime, one thing we always say, build first, get your site up. Don't worry about lots of location pages in whether it's Magic Page plugin or the MLB, right? Leave that alone. Forget about that for the minute, because you haven't even got a website built. What's the point of worrying about location pages?
So, Steve, explain that, because this is brand new to people. They don't understand. Yeah. The DFY MCB stands for Magic Code Builder.
Yeah,
that's going to exchange for doing. If you're talking just MPP, that's where your X fields would have become.
Yeah.
So in the Magic Code Builder, you're building the short codes that used to be X fields in MPP. So now it's whatever you want them to be. We relabeled them DFY to keep them separated from MPP. Otherwise, we'd have a great big confusion when it came to sport tickets.
Yeah.
So that being said, that's just a code builder. And then the MLB is the mass location builder. That's going to build the individual physical pages. We are not, the way we're going, we are no longer going to build dynamic pages like MPP does.
Yeah.
Because they're only built when they're called on. So there's kind of a confusion on that. Later on in MPP, after you build your initial site and you have your dynamic pages, then you go back in and you turn them into physical pages. So that's where there's going to be some confusion for people. But truly, if you like building an MPP and you like some of the bells and whistles that it has, you can. There's not a problem, because the code builder works flawlessly with MPP, and you use MPP for all the little bells and whistles that you like. But like Stephen said, only the SEO plugins that we have said will work with our plugin are usable there, where they're not usable in MPP.
One of the reasons we invented the Magic Code Builder was we got asked time and time again, do I need the Magic Page plugin, or do I need Page Generator Pro? What, do I need any of those extra plugins? The simple answer is no. You don't, because you can put our sites now up online, and if you wanted to, you could clone a page and create 10 local pages, right? And then when you're ready at a later date, then you can get MPP. Right now, we're including in a circle subscription for people, right? The MLB, right? Purely on the point of view that some people, we had, when we originally launched this, we had people who couldn't afford either MPP or some other pieces of software that we were recommending, and we wanted to make the site more standalone. And it just means now that you can get going straight away, you can get a site up and not worry about, oh, do I need MPP? Get your site up and running, that's your shop window. And if you build out most in my area here, I haven't got hundreds, I don't need hundreds of locations. I think there's about 5 or 6, maybe 10 at the most locations that I would put location pages up for an agency. Get that up and running, do some SEO bits and pieces anyway, and have it ready and rolling, and that's the thing about this, is it's just getting a site up. The amount of webinars I've been on to do with Rank and Rent or building websites or whatever, they go, you build a 3-page website, it's easy. And I'm sure a lot of you people who are long-term members with us know it's not easy to build a website with content, and you're normally left in the lurch. These sites are purely to get them up and running. Now, something that I've picked up on, when you've added your license key to the Magic Code plugin, what you want to be doing is then going to permalinks and save them, right? Make sure you save them again, because sometimes the site doesn't load properly depending on what server you're on and stuff like that. So make sure you do that. And like I said, just get a site up, get it online. Don't worry about the SEO at first. Get it indexed with Google. Get Google seeing it, because as you update it, Google's going to come back and go, oh, they've changed this. That's great. They've changed that. Oh, they've been updating this. Google then sees that you're looking after your site and doing more and more work to it, because the agency site's always going to be almost a work in progress for a good 6-7 months, maybe a year. Because we all know with Google, it can take you 6 months before the site's indexed properly. And, and this has been a sort of an ongoing thing I've seen messages online where, when you've got dynamic pages, they don't always get indexed right. But if you can now put a site up with all the content on very quickly, just change out the locations and the business address and phone number and the social media links, and it's done, it's there. Then worry about playing around, tweaking it and what have you. I always recommend backing up first before you start tweaking with codes and some of our short codes. And yet it looks complicated in the background, because it is. It's not complicated. It isn't being made complicated on purpose. It's how the system works to update. And you can easily add your own pages. You can clone a page and create it. Don't worry about necessarily using the short codes. Clone a page and then get rid of the short codes and put your own content on if you want. The short codes are there to make it very quick and easy to change the phone number out across the site, change your address on the site. Imagine if we built a site and went, all right, now what you've got to do is edit the page. You've got 5 different places you've got to put the phone number. Now you've got to go in and put the address here and here and here. Now you've got to go and put this email address here, 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 and here, and here. How much time is that going to take up with you? Unlike with our site now, you load it, you change some of the details in it, and you make sure it's live. Something really important, I must say. The Magic Code Builder will not work, license key will not work unless your site is SSL secured. Our server rejects it. So if you go and put your key in and it doesn't work, check it is SSL secured. Once you put your key in, refresh the page as per in the training. If you watch the training, it'll show you.
What? It's in the training? No way.
And I laugh because some of the support tickets that have come in, I've looked at them and gone, you haven't watched the training. And we've made it so super simple. So we haven't put the MLB training in yet. We will be, because we wanted to get everyone to the same place. Buy a domain name, put it on hosting, whether it's ours or someone else's. We include the hosting with the plans you're on. Get it up, done. Once the site's up, change the boxes that you need to do in the MCB. Once you've done that, do your social media channels and your citations. If you're a super hard worker and you've got nothing better to do, right, then yes, it's only been about a week, yes, you can get all that work done. But most of us have lives, we have other jobs to do. You don't necessarily always have the time. So at least getting a site up online and doing the social media channels, they're the 2 important things, in changing the company data. Have that done and then submit it to Search Console. Let Google start warming it up. Seeing the site, going, oh, there's a new site in this location. Then you can go back in and change some photos out. You can go back in and change some of the content if you want, or build a new page, or play around with it. But the hardest thing that people have struggled with, and I've seen this since I've known Robert, is building the initial site, getting a site up. You guys have got now a site built, an agency site that you can put up, which is your shop window. Then you've got those themes that are already in there that you can send people to, and that's a generic link to those. So you can send people to them and say, I've got a plumbing site if you want one. I've got a HVAC site if you want one. And as we add more and more sites in the new year, we'll be giving you the images and showing you how to add them to your agency site. So your business can grow month by month. And we are going to be building a site. I've got the live local site redone because I rushed it last week, and I realized what the problem was, is the fact that the system, the domain name hadn't pointed fully, the SSL wasn't set up, and there was a number of things. And if I set the domain name up earlier in the week and put WordPress on, the install would have just gone smoothly.
So let me just say something real quick. So sometimes a different way to say the same thing helps certain people versus others. The website file that you get from the members area is your agency website. It's the front end. It's all the pages you need. It's only missing your domain, your phone numbers, your addresses, for your individual unique site. That's the front end site. We're not talking about location pages yet. So the location pages would get built out with the MPP plugin, or would get built out with the MLB, which is the mass location builder. But those are going to be the physical pages built for all the different cities. So MPP will do it like it used to do it in the database, and the MLB will do it same way with a little different twist. It's not MPP, but it's doing the same thing. And you're going to tell it how many locations you want to build and what range, what radius, and it will do that. So you have to give it the information it requires to come back and do that. You don't need any other tools to build location pages. We're just not there yet on the build. So MPP will do it, Page Generator Pro will do it, or our version of Page Generator Pro, which Stephen said is the white label version, is the same thing. We just wanted to make it simplistic for people to understand what pieces are being done. Now, there was a question I saw, I think, from Stefan about WP Horde to build out location pages. We're not going to go into WP Horde anytime soon, but we are going to be using WP Horde to do more stuff as part of our system on the back end. If you're comfortable with WP Horde and you wanted to do certain things for you, that's great, but we don't need it at this moment to build location pages. So just so that we have all of that clear. And to answer the other question was, if we lose MPP, are we using the MLP plugin? It's a choice, but that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be going to the MLP, which is the Mass Location Builder. MLB is what it should be. So yes, if you want to use MPP, you can. So you're going to turn it on or turn it off, depending whether you want to use it or you don't want to use it. Or you're going to use the MLB to build your location pages. So you have a choice there. We are going to build strictly in our training now with the MLB because it helps people not to have to spend all that money on MPP if they don't have to, but all of it still works. So we're not taking anything away from those that have MPP and want it versus those that don't want to pay for license anymore and just want to build with physical pages. It all works. So bear with us as we go through the training. We got to do the step-by-step. We have to do this, the parts that everybody needs. And then it becomes clear. Having the ability of using the classic editor to create shortcodes, not only the shortcode itself, which used to be just text. We can use the shortcodes to build out images with the text on a certain block, and it can replace a whole section. But we've already built that in the agency site for you. The important part now is to get the agency site up. This is your blueprint to start learning what all these pieces are going to do for you. Once you see it, it becomes a lot easier to understand it.
No, I agree. It's, because we've gone and changed the theme so much now to make them standalone, there is a lot more training involved to now be recorded to show people how to use each of the products. So we got the basics in there for you guys, so you can at least get a domain name up and running straight away. And if you're stuck with stuff, get a support ticket open, and we'll gladly, have a look for you and look after you. Sometimes things get a bit manic, and we do try and catch up with people on what needs to be done. There's only so many hours in the day at the end of the day for all of us, but we are, one thing we'll always do is support you guys. So if you've got a problem, we'll have a look and we'll work out why. We'll get the tech guys onto it. There's only so much testing we can do at the end of the day, and we've done it time and time again.
Steve, on somebody that's building brand new, what are going to be the tripping points? Where are they going to get stuck?
I think they're going to get stuck when you enter in your MCB license key and it says it's all okay and you don't hit the refresh button. That's the first step. The second step, I think they're going to get stuck on the fact that once you've put that in, to go to the permalinks and click save again a couple of times to make sure they update. And I think the third tripping point is putting your MCB license key inside the MLB, which means we have to go back in and put the original key back in for the Magic Location Builder.
Okay, so we're going to make sure that we have a tripping point video recorded by next week to tell you guys these are where everybody's having trouble. And the one thing I think you missed there was that the site has to be SSL secure.
Yeah.
That should be done as soon as the domain name is added to the hosting.
No, I agree. But, and the thing is, if you use our hosting platform, if there's a problem, we can look after you on it. If it's on your own and you're having SSL issues, you have to go back to your own provider for that. The only other tripping point that could be there is when you've done the WordPress install on our hosting, you get 2 URLs. One's a temporary URL and one's a main URL. If you choose to use a temporary URL, when your domain name's finally looking at the site, you have to go into the general settings, and there's 2 boxes with the URL, and you have to change them to your main site URL with HTTPS in there to make sure it updates properly. But we're, as always, we're here to support you guys. We always will. And that's the main goal of this. That's why we haven't pushed. We did Black Friday and we had some sales in. We didn't push things really hard, because especially the day before, I was pulling my hair out with the host company, with the mad panic of getting to blooming fix it, which I wasn't happy about with that. So, but we're going to possibly, we're possibly thinking about putting a webinar together next week if we've got time. If not, it'll be in the new year. And then really the webinar is just going to run for another install for people, and we'd send an email out to people, and see what else we can bring into the group. But it's never, the system now, I feel, has become step by step to get a website up and running, and that's an agency website with all the content. It can't
it's a big web agency site. It's really your business in a box.
Yeah.
And I think, all being said, it's faster than ever as far as how the build goes. If we put in a license key wrong, or we do forget the SSL, or we miss a step, it's a support ticket. So it'll slow you down. And we want to get all of that smooth so that it doesn't happen to anybody. But we can't control the other hosting companies, that's for sure. So that being said, this is going to build quick. It's going to become very simple. You're going to go in and change the information just like you would have done in a magic form before. There's I can't speak today. There is no longer a magic form to have to fill in and re-upload and change. It's already done in the back end of your dashboard in the shortcodes. And we're gonna do these builds very slow, and we're gonna be repetitive in the beginning until you guys understand. So let me feel the temperature in the room. Give me some ones if you guys are understanding where we're going, and twos if you're like, I don't get this thing, I'm completely lost.
1-1-1-1-1-1-1. Richard, Barry, Steve, Stuart, and we will be there to support you guys. We will try and jump. Next week's going to be a bit easier for us because with the run up to Christmas, the main parts are done. The automations are pretty much in place for when people order in the future. There's lots of things in the background we've been doing, and I know I've got a couple of people to support in the system, which we will be addressing. And we will get there for you. We have next week is the last DFY live for you for 2022, and then we have and everyone can have a break over Christmas, and then we return. What date do we say we're going to return on, Robert? I'm trying to remember now.
Well, why don't we take a poll in the group? I mean, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to have 2 weeks off for the holidays, or do you guys just want to keep working? I'd say, how do we answer that? One, if you want 2 weeks off in the chat, or a 2 if you guys just want to work right through the holidays.
Two, more twos. So a lot of twos, Robert.
So what did I say? One was take a break, and 2 was to work. Is that what I said?
Yeah. So what we'll do. So what we will do is do next week, and then the week after we'll have a break, and then we obviously got Christmas that Christmas week, isn't it, as well? That
well, let's look at a calendar, because That's why we do what we do.
Mm.
So next week is the 16th.
Mm.
We are not going to have a call on the 23rd.
No, because of course, and I love his back. I'm gonna bring Don up because if you look at I didn't just spotlight. Look at this. Look at the background. You see, and the 23rd, Don's going to be getting ready to go out on his sleigh. Everyone knows his Father Christmas for real, aren't you, Don?
Yeah, so I'm co-located right now. So I'm
Yeah.
doing some advanced planning and preparation. So I'm at my remote site.
Yeah. So of course you won't. You know, the 23rd, which is the eve of Christmas Eve. You'll
I'll
be
be very busy.
yeah. So we'll have that one away, and I think probably the following one will take off as well, just to have a full Christmas, because that's that time between Christmas and New Year. And less people want us to show up. I'm not sure what plans are in the family at the minute, at my end, but I think we'll reconvene the first Friday in January, and we might even do a surprise. We might put in the group, hey, we're opening up the room for a surprise get together. If anyone wants to come in and share and do whatever, we can always do that. But that'd only be for the inner circle. We won't go live in the other group. So.
I mean, we're not running away from the support desk. We're not running away from your
No.
questions. We're trying to see what everybody wants to do, because if some people just want to take a break and be off and not be building, but I get it. So let's say for right now, Stephen, we're going to be live on the 16th as usual, which is next Friday. We'll be off on the 23rd, which is the day before Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
And the 30th we'll update accordingly.
Yeah.
So that's fair enough.
Well, I that week between Christmas and New Year is either a busy time for people and their families, or one of those weeks that just drags out. Well, if it's a week that drags out for you, and you want us to be about on the 30th, then let us know. We're happy to bring people into a Zoom room just for a chin wag and a how you doing sort of thing, rather than anything too serious. So
what the hell is a chin wag?
It's where you just talk.
Oh.
Hashtag chin wag. But just out of interest, put one in the chat if you'd like us to maybe do something on Friday the 30th, where we just have a get together, maybe. Right, that's going to happen then. We'll do it Friday the 30th. We'll do a get together, and it's not going to be anything serious. We'll have everyone up on the screen at the same time, and we'll just have a chat about how everyone's doing, where they're at, and just and I think it'd be a good time for the inner circle group only to share as well their goals for the next year, where they want to be, because we've got the systems in place. It's going to be a very good year for those that take action, and we'll be there every step of the way to support you. And it's great now because the themes themselves can be standalone. So if there's a problem with a particular plugin, we've got a workaround now, where before we were tied to one and one only. And the thing is, it's the old saying in your business. We've got things in place that we plan on doing this for many years to come. And if something happened to one of us, we're not going anywhere. But something did, there are backup plans in place to make sure everything still continues to work for you guys. I've invested heavily for the next few years in the hosting, at least 5 years hosting minimum, and that's as far as they would let me pay ahead with them. And when we get to that point, then we renew, but we keep on going, and it's going to be an exciting time to get sites up, get them ranked in your local area, and get them found. And you become that local digital agency expert. Once you've got that site up, think about it. You reach out to local business groups in your area on Facebook, and you get people knowing what you do. And then you share one of the demos of one of the other sites. You go, tell me what you think of this site. And they go, wow, I'd love that. I know somebody that built a website and sold it for 25K. just being brave, and that's the thing with it is you either rent it out monthly, and it does come down to confidence at the end of the day when you're new to this. I remember when I started, I dabbled in affiliate marketing for a number of years. I didn't do very well at it because I didn't have the guidance, and everyone was flooding the markets with everything, especially ClickBank. And it's a numbers game. You need an awful lot of websites up to make money out of ClickBank, and you need to find the right products and things that people are interested in, and then the competition. But with this model, it's much easier to get a website up locally, get it found locally, and then share it in a local business group. So then you become the expert. Now, if someone knocks on your door and they go, I've got a website of my own, and I want this doing to it, and you go, well, I don't know how to do it. You go to Upwork, you find someone who can do it. They say they can do it for $200. You go back to the person and go $800. And they go, because you want to always charge higher than what you really want on a custom job. And the reason behind that is then you'll be supporting that person with whatever you've done for them for quite some time to come. And you have to get agreements in place and say, we will do A, B, and C for you. You pay this much, and that's that. Yeah. So it's $800, and we can do those things for you. And that's the important part to it is getting that, being brave enough to charge more than what you really want. And if they go no, well, that's fine, because you can focus on the business that's going to make you ongoing money, and that's your own agency where you can rent websites. And that's why we say build, rent. So build, rent, then rank. Because if you get someone renting a website locally for even at $99 a month, then you push that website up and they start loving you even more. And it's that foot in the door thing of then you can offer them other things like Google services and what have you. But so
anyways, we wanted to clarify some areas. And also at the same time, looking at some of the support tickets that came in, what was happening. So we want to get that video recorded about the tripping points. But it's important that you do the right steps. And no one in this live chat or pretty much in any of our groups are distrusted. However, we have to have fail safes in place for the what ifs that could happen on our platform. We don't want to have things get out of control, and that's why we had to put the licensing in place, as well as it's part of our restriction on the white label version of the mass location builder. So we're doing everything that we have to do to make sure everybody is safe in what they build.
By the way, I want to thank the people who have raised support tickets. A, you've done it in the right way, and B, those problems that have come up have made us aware of things that we wouldn't have been aware of. There is no such thing as a stupid question, right? And we're sharing today not to make you feel bad in any way, shape, or form, right? Because if we're not aware of people struggling and people just try and get it for themselves, right, then we can't help others in the future with these videos that we're going to be doing. And the whole idea is to make this as easy as possible from step 1 to step 10, for an example. Yeah, is to make sure you're all up and running. So I appreciate everyone who's raised support tickets. And Paul just said the right thing. He said the only stupid question is the one not asked.
Yeah.
So if you get stuck, don't spend hours and hours trying to work out what the problem is. Raise a support ticket. Occasionally we do get super busy and we take a little bit longer than we like to get back to you. We will always aim to get back to you. Like if you raise a ticket on a Monday, we always aim by the next day to hopefully reply to you. There had been a minor issue with the reply system going out because of the server that crashed, and we are next year migrating to the built-in help desk that's with the new hosting. So if you're in there already and you want to use that support desk, we are monitoring both of them, and you're quite welcome to raise tickets in there because we know when we reply they definitely go back to you. And we're going to help every single person get migrated over to the original hosting, and we'll make sure you're looked after. All right. and it will take a number of weeks to get there because there are over 200 odd domain names in the system on the server that went wrong before Black Friday, and that's going to take us a little bit of time to get people moved over, but we will get you moved over. The key to it is we will do the migration and then reach out to you to update your name servers. So there's no rush with this. You're safe on both platforms. And on the old platform, when the last domain name comes off, that's when we get rid of them. And if that takes us 3-4 months, then that's what it is. You know.
So Steve, are we gonna try to go over the build again?
We can do. Who would like to see me do the install again? Laurie's got a thumbs up, right? Okay, let me just get the right screen up. Bear with me. Okay. Green. Can everyone see my
We
screen?
see it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Okay. Oh, what's going on here? Right. So just to be clear, earlier on we recorded this because we were worried that my own internet would play up. So I'd already clicked on the download the file from the members area, and this is the point when we click on the plugin, add new, and we type in here WP Vivid, and we click install. We activate, and we go down to WP Vivid, backup and restore. We now click the upload tab, and we drag the file in, or you can click and select files where you saved it to, and then click upload. Now we recorded this in real time because we want you to see how long this would take to do it. So this is, probably going to take us about 10 minutes to run through, maybe a bit less, and we'll get up to the point when the site's installed. And it's all down to the speed of your internet. And at the time I was sharing as well with Robert on this install. So Zoom does slow things down a little bit. So the file
But, there again, even if the thing ran for 15 minutes, your whole site's going to be built after the restore.
Yeah. We can get a site up and done in an hour easily. All right. Now, for anyone else, you may like do a bit one day, bit another day. We don't want you guys feeling overwhelmed with this. That's the thing. We want this to be a nice, easy, calm install. And if you have problems, I know 1 or 2 people have, we will look out for your support tickets. And if need be, we'll jump on a call with you and work out what's going on. So it's nearly there. And if you have any questions while we're doing this, you are quite welcome to ask away. I'll keep the chat open. And
the main point, while this is working, leave it alone.
Yeah.
If it seems slow, it's because it's such a big file and will take time.
Now, when it has completed, at the top there, it says the upload has completed, and you'll be able to click OK at the top. It's really important. Sometimes this file will mess up, will pause halfway through when uploading. And so if it gets paused, just leave it, go make a coffee. Once you're done, click OK, and then click the restore button. And then there's another restore button there. You click, and it says, "Are you sure?" You click OK. Make sure it's a blank WordPress install. If it's one that's got a site on it already, you will merge everything most likely, or it will try and overwrite it and mess the database up. And hello, Mike the Bee Man. Good to see you here again. I know he's been super busy.
Oh boy.
Pardon the pun. And so it's good to see you again, buddy. So, and he's a guy that took one of our original themes and converted it to what he wanted it to be. And it's a case of when you go and look at our code, you go, oh my God, what do I do? Well, basically, build yourself, clone a page. But at this point, you click OK to the restore. You build another page out and then use your own shortcodes on that page to do what you want. So now it's done. I'm going to grab the default username and password. I'm going to come over. We entered them in. I'm going to log in. Now, in the training, we show you how to change that username and password. It's important that you do change it. Otherwise, anyone could get into your website if they know where your domain name is. So that's the important part to it. Now, in a minute, it'll go into the dashboard. I'll add that to the site. And now we can add the DFY MCB code. So what you want to do is come up to the DFY MCB. I'll wait for the video to catch up. Should have recorded this a bit faster, Robert. There we are. And we click on there and we say license, click on the license. In a minute, the page will load, and the license key, if you haven't been given the MCB license key, raise a support ticket, but you pop the key in and click activate, and it will come up in a minute and it'll say your license is active. They're all set to 100. Most people in the inner circle will have 100 installs, and if you get to that point, you reach out to us. And Mike, you will be a little bit lost because these are the updates of the themes. So now you refresh, and after you refresh, you've then got all the menus appeared. And you can go into the company info, and you'll be able to edit that category accordingly. And then inside of here are all the phone numbers, locations, all that sort of data's in there, which you can change. Now the MLB, which is our version of Page Generator Pro, there's a licensing tab. You do not need to do anything with that tab. Nothing at all, nada, don't touch it. Because if you put the MCB key in there, it removes the key that's already in there that enables PGP to work, because we include it automatically. We can offer Page Generator Pro inside of here because it's bundled with our theme. We can't give you the file and we can't give you the key. We're not allowed to as part of the licensing. If you want your own version, I think it's like a personal unlimited license is $199, and I think a lifetime, by the way, and an agency version for yourself is a company, I think, took $300 lifetime. So you have that as another option as well. I'm just going to come out of sharing now, and I can switch over to the live site. It's going to close off the video, and then we can come back to, we can go and find it.
Thanks, Steve. Yes, the MCB plugin, and we're very proud and very happy how well it came out. But it was a simplistic idea in the beginning, and we added a lot to it. But as we always said, we would, whoever supports us, we're going to support them. That's just how this works.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make it simplistic, but be Viet, very powerful and very flexible. And I think we nailed it.
No, absolutely. And so I'm going to share my screen now on the live version. I hope you can see my screen again.
Yep. And
so when you change one of the codes, like the phone number, this is the part that will change on here for you site-wide, wherever the phone number is. We scroll to the bottom. Phone number should be at the bottom here as well. It changes everywhere. Same with the email address and your main address. And so these have all the content on. And the thing that I love as well. Oh, how's Bob's site appeared, Robert? What was that site we put on? Was that a test site?
Maybe.
I'll have to go back and check the build now.
I think you did it as a demo last time.
and I've gone and backed it up again and uploaded it. But we can show you how to remove that, right? If you happen to do the latest install and that's in there, right? What you can do is come into the dashboard. And this is what I love about this portfolio feature. Is we go into portfolio. And we can see Bob's site here, and I can delete that site. You can add your own in here, and as we get more and more sites built, we will send you the image, the URL, and you just come in. We'll show you how to add them into the portfolio. In a minute, when this updates, that'll be gone. Now, I won't go back to the front page just yet because I want to show you something. If you've done the install, you can get to the WordPress admin, you go and view the site and it's got an error, right? Simply come into settings, come down to permalinks. Make sure it's on post name. You can do your own structure if you prefer, but Magic Page plugin mainly likes post name if you're using that. But when you get into here, just click Save Changes. That updates the permalinks, which then makes all the codes work, and it makes the site run smoothly. Now, when this is done also, if on our hosting, if you happen to put in a temporary URL, you go to General. And make sure that this has the correct URL as it is on this site in here with the HTTPS. If you happen to go to your site and you've got SSL secured, but the site's not secure, pop in here and make sure that it's saying HTTPS, not just HTTP on both of these. Because on average, that's normally where the problem is. All right. And in the training, we say update your administrator email and bits and pieces like that in here. That's all inside the training. If we're missing something, please let us know. Because sometimes we do miss training items. And then when the MLB is live, by the way, you'll have these menus here. When we've added you to the system, these menus will be active. If they're not, and it just says license, then reach out to us and we'll add you to the system. We undernerd about giving people access from day one on it because we haven't done the training. That is on its way, either over the weekend or the beginning of next week. It's just so much to record at the moment and do. And so we will get there, and that's why I'm looking forward to a bit of time off over Christmas. so much gone on. So those are the main tripping points, really. Is there anything I'm missing, Robert?
Not that I caught.
No.
Steve, could you do me a favor though?
Yeah.
Just for clarification, I want to use MPP. What would I do?
So to use MPP, you come into plugins, add new plugin. I don't think I've got the plugin file handy or a license key handy, but you'd install that Magic Page plugin. You'd update the permalinks again. And once it's installed with your license key, we've already installed the Magic Page for you. And so you can then use that Magic Page. Now, just a little tip. When you set your location, central location in the Magic Page plugin on that page, right? The location tag across our site switches out for the Magic Page plugin version. All right. I'd recommend probably disabling the MLB, and when you disable it, it will say Page Generator Pro probably in the background when it's disabled. When you re-enable it, it'll just come back on as the MLB.
Okay, so we're going to do a little separate training. We are going to do training on MPP using the DFY MCP.
Yeah.
But we have not forgotten MPP.
No.
We've actually already created things. So as soon as you activate it, you have the Magic Page part of it, and then you add in your locations.
And that's the same in the MLB as well. So both have got their own Magic Pages already done for you. So I mean, where else can you get a site now for $500 with the licensing for the MCB, right? And a year's access to the inner circle at the moment with it, and also the MLB if you haven't got the money to pay for MPP. MPP had some wonderful features that Page Generator Pro doesn't. So, it's one of those, it's a chicken and egg situation. It's sort of the VHS and Betamax world of which one do you prefer? That's what it comes down to. And if you prefer Magic Page plugin, this will still work fine with it. If you create your own Magic Page plugin code, which is why we've done DFY codes, because if you create an MPP code, it says X field on it, and you put it on the page, then it's an MPP code. So that's the exciting part of this, of how well it's coming on. And
so Lori has a question there, and I think Lori has something missing.
right,
Whether it's the permalinks, whether it's the SSL, I don't know.
we'll have a
But
look
if-
for her
If the
tonight.
site doesn't look normal and doesn't have headlines, something is not correct.
So as you can see now, I've removed the Bob one, and you can see now it's only got these in here. So when we bring out the next theme, we're going to send you an image, we're going to send you the URL, and we do a video on how to add more into the portfolio. But there's nothing stopping you from adding your own right now if you built your own sites. And that's what we love about this is when you add it, it just appears. And then we've done the hard work as well of doing the installs. I have to say a big thank you to Robert for finding the layout on this, because it's such a good layout. So now we're in here, we've got the roofer.rcs4.com. RCS.4.com is not related to DFY themes. It's generic, which means that as we build out more sites and we put more demos up, you'll have the demos built already. That's why we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 as the phone number. These are generic sites built that way on purpose without anything in particular on it, just to show you how we built them out. All right. And
Well, it's for you to use as a sales tool. Hey,
Yeah.
go check out my roofing site.
so we are still sharing, Stuart, and in fact, what we will do now we've shown those bits and pieces, we should allow Father Christmas himself to say good night to everyone in a moment. I'm just going to hit the share button and find the right video, because I haven't got it lined up quite yet. There it is. So, Mr. Father Christmas, do you want to wish all the free groups happy holidays, and we'll be back next week.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.
I love it. Brilliant. Good night, free groups, and we'll be here next week. And now we're going to the inner circle only to talk about a lot more about this.
Steve, should we mention that part about the fire deal that contains the agency website?
We can do. Do you know one thing, right? The number one rule, right? As I click the off button to the free groups about